All right. What's up, everyone? Wanted to do a case study for you today. This is a nothing crazy on this case study. Nothing fancy. Um, you can see right here. Obviously, we only recovered $12,000 on this deal, and our net profit was around $4,800. So this is what I would consider a small deal. But I'll tell you the story on this and kind of the problems that we encountered on this deal, and hopefully it will be of benefit to you. So this particular deal, the original overage on it was much more than $12,000. In fact, if I remember correctly, the original overage on this deal was in the $70,000 range. And so you see that we only recovered 12,000. So what happened? So there was 70 something thousand. I can't remember the exact number, but there were 70 something $1,000 in overage or surplus funds on this property that went to foreclosure. And what had happened is there were lots and lots of liens against this property, judgments and liens. It was quite messy, to be frank. And so looking at that, I almost did not pursue this deal because of the lien amounts. In fact, if all the lien holders had come forward, we would not have recovered anything at all. I mean, the number of liens and the dollar amounts for the liens exceeded the surplus funds. So how did I recover 12,000? Well, I took a look at who the lien holders were and decided that if I lost on this deal, I'd probably be out $200 to $300. So this deal was a gamble, basically. It was a deal that I decided I would roll the dice on and see if we got anything. What was my gamble? What was I betting on? Basically, I was betting on the lien holders not coming forward, at least not all of them. Some of them did. In fact, obviously the bigger ones did, and they got their money. But not all of them did come forward. And so my gamble paid off, basically. So I risked $300 about for the potential to gain whatever I thought I could gain. In this case, it was $4,800. Okay. I guess technically $4,800 minus $300 in costs. So where's the lesson here? There's a couple different lessons. Lesson number one is you can still pursue cases where the liens are greater than the surplus amount. You just have to be aware of the fact that you are gambling at that point. You're taking a risk, and it's a pretty big risk. You're basically betting that the lien holders are out of touch, that they won't come forward. Maybe they've written off the lien as a loss, or maybe the lien has expired. There's several different scenarios, and I go more in depth on debt research inside my course. But basically, if you're going after a case where the liens on the property exceed the surplus amount, you're gambling. And so when you do that, you just have to make sure that whatever you're gambling, you're willing to lose. So in this case, I knew that my costs are going to be about $300 max. And so I was like, okay, fine. If I lose $300, I lose $300. I'm okay with that. If I win, it'll be worth it. And in this case, it was worth it. And I even, I was straight with my client too. I was straight up with him, like, listen, I doubt we're going to recover anything on this case. And you know why. Because of all these liens on here, it's highly unlikely we will recover anything. But if we do recover anything, are you okay with me taking 40% and you getting 60%? And they said yes. And so that's how I went into it on this deal. And, was just upfront with them, told them what I thought, told them that we probably weren't going to get anything, but I was willing to risk it and I was willing to pay the cost. So they had no risk. They weren't going to pay anything. And if I won, then they won. And so it was a win-win for us. And that's how I ended up doing this deal. We filed our claim. We crossed our fingers and said, I hope no one else comes forward. Obviously, a few lien holders did come forward, but after all was said and done, not everyone came forward, and we got $12,000, and we took home 40% of that, or $4,800. Okay. So, in fact, I think my math is off on this. Was it more? Trying to see here. No, it was 40%, 60-40. So we're good. So that's what happened on this deal. What's the other lesson? The other lesson is, obviously you can go after claims, even if there are liens on a property. You can do that. It's risky. Just make sure you control your costs and that you're okay with taking a loss if all the lien holders do come forward. Because obviously we send out notices. You have to do that. You send out notices to all interested parties. But if they don't come forward, that's on them. That's not on you. So, and if someone were to come forward and to challenge this, it's a judge that approved this, so they're going to have to take it up with the judge. And so basically this deal, even though it's a small deal, on its face, anyone else would have probably overlooked this deal. But I was willing to take a gamble, and because I was willing to take a risk, take a gamble, it paid off. Have I had cases where I've risked and gambled and lost? Yes, I have. And are all my cases like that? No. Most of my cases, I like to be conservative and know that I'm going to win. But every once in a while, I'll get a wild hair and, take on a risky one every once in a while, see what happens. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. So that's the deal with this case study. Hopefully that was helpful for you. And so what do you do? Let's say you don't want to risk anything. You don't want to lose any money. You want to be extremely conservative. How do you ensure that your case is a good case? Well, do the research on the debt. Find out what liens and mortgages existed on the property before it went to foreclosure, whether tax or mortgage. And I go over that, how to do that process for free, using your county recorder's office in my course. I go in depth in that. So you can check that out at overagecourse.com. And if you want help, getting started on these, starting to do overage deals for yourself, then that is the first step to take, is go to overagecourse.com and enroll in the course. So, but this was a deal from last year. Hopefully you learned something from that. Let me know your questions below. Subscribe to the channel for future videos and case studies, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.